Hello, and welcome to President Pat's podcast at North Shore Community College. I'm Dr. Pat Gentili, proud president of North Shore Community College in Massachusetts. Today's podcast is going to feature an exciting new partnership between North Shore Community College and Salem State University. While our two institutions have been collaborating for a long time, this past year, President John Keenan from Salem State and I signed a formal memo of understanding to expand that relationship between our colleges and to create even more seamless pathways for our students. One component of the expansion is offering North Shore Community College students the opportunity to access campus housing at nearby Salem State University. This is, we believe, very timely as housing decisions need to be made by midsummer. So I'm delighted that President Keenan is with me today to advise folks about this new opportunity. And we also have a North Shore Community College student who is interested in taking advantage of this new program, Willy Gomez. So welcome, John, and welcome, Willy. President Keenan, we'll start with you. Thank you for your leadership on bringing us to this place today. Can you share with our listeners and with Willy why you thought that expanding the partnership with North Shore Community College was important at this time?
Sure, I'd be happy to, Pat. And first and foremost, thank you for inviting me to this podcast. I think it's a fantastic idea and a great way to communicate with your campus, and I think I'll bring it back to my campus as well. Great. So again, thanks for having me here today, and thank you both for your leadership and partnership with Salem State, especially this past year. I know you had worked very closely with President Meservey as well, but looking forward to continue to build that relationship between our presidency. So a great opportunity to be here today and speak to this issue. As you know, our institutions have made significant progress towards greater collaboration in the areas of academics, admissions, enrollment, campus life, facilities, and housing, as well as the possibility for shared services. As part of our strategic growing relationship and partnership, our senior staff members have conceived of a pilot demonstration that will allow North Shore Community College students to reside in Salem State residence halls while they take courses and earn academic credit here at North Shore.
Well, you know, we think that this is a great idea as well. And we've had students who've told us that they missed the residential opportunity or that they need housing because of their own circumstances. So we're really glad to get this started. I know that the housing option started with a survey here at North Shore Community College with a sample of our returning students. 64% of our students who were in the sample expressed interest in learning more about the option to live on your campus. And in addition, of those who may have been new the year before, they indicated even more that they may have been interested as a new North Shore Community College student in that kind of housing. So I think it's wonderful that through this collaboration, we can offer an opportunity for those North Shore students who may be interested in experiencing that more traditional educational model of living and dining and experiencing a college campus. That opportunity is really important, and obviously all of our students are attending a commuting college, so we don't have any residential opportunity for our students and haven't been planning any in the future. So knowing that we could offer this opportunity is just great. Now, we have over 8,000 students that we see every year, and we know the vast majority of them will probably not be doing this kind of an opportunity because the average age of our student population is 26, and many of them have family responsibilities, are living in the community, and coming to school part-time, honestly. But we still have a core of students who come right after high school, who are going full-time or a large part-time, and really are looking for this kind of opportunity. So for those students, we think that this will be a great choice.
Right. As you know, Pat, we are both driven by student success, and in many ways, I think student success means different options for different people. And I think this is a continuation, really, of that spectrum that we're able to offer in partnership with North Shore, options for Salem State and North Shore students to be able to thrive in a community that works best for them. And I know you've also talked about other programs where you may be recruiting from farther away. And I think this gives you an opportunity there as well. So in light of the data that you had noted, we worked with our team and created a pilot offering that both first-year and upper-class students will have the opportunity to live at Salem State on the campus. In hosting the North Shore students, Salem State will aim to create a seamless living and learning environment with particular consideration for use at certain Salem State facilities, programs, and services.
Well, I think this is really quite a step forward in our collaboration. And if you could give us some of the details of the eligibility for how if you're interested in this, what would a student have to do, or what kind of position should they be in order to apply?
Yeah, no, great. The eligibility criteria, and it's basically similar to the criteria that we have for Salem State students. So a student must be taking a minimum of 12 credit hours here at North Shore to live in the residence hall, signed a 2-semester lease agreement, essentially a year-long agreement, and need to comply with health insurance and immunization requirements, just as Salem State students do. Also, make sure they're in accordance and aware of the Student Conduct Code and any other applicable Salem State policies. And then they would also be required to carry a Salem State meal plan. And I will tell you, we've just brought in a new vendor, and pretty excited next year. We're actually going to have food service on campus 24/7 starting in September. So it's a very positive implementation of a new program at Salem State as well.
Well, 12 credits a semester is full-time for us, and we also have the health insurance requirements and the immunization requirements as well. Our financial aid people are working with your folks to make sure that those students who meet the eligibility and are interested in doing this can put a plan together for how to pay for it as well. We also you've talked about the meal plan, you talked about housing. I know that there's the 2 different residential dorms involved in this opportunity. What other kinds of services can we think about or might be included in this plan and develop over time?
Yeah, we want to have the North Shore students feel like they're really part of Salem State, and to me they are, quite frankly, and they'll have the opportunity to access not only our meal plans as discussed, but the library, the beautiful fitness center that we have, the Gasset Fitness Center, participate in appropriate welcome and orientation sessions, as well as social and educational programs facilitated by our students, faculty, and staff. I know our honors program recently actually took a trip together, and so I think it's the beginning of building a better relationship and making your students feel more comfortable on our campus, because, as you know, I hope as many as your students that are graduating here come over to Salem State after they get their associate's degree.
And that's a good point, because the largest number of transfers we have in terms of those students who are transferring on for their baccalaureate degrees are going to Salem State University. So having them feel comfortable, already know the campus, feel engaged with that community, I think is going to be a big asset for our students and help them make that transition a little bit easier for them. And we have a student here who is interested in doing this. So, Willy, why don't you tell us a little bit about yourself, what you're doing here at North Shore Community College, maybe your plans and why you're interested in a residential option.
Thank you so much, President Gentili and John Keenan, for coming, and the opportunity you give me and the blessing you give me to join this podcast. I graduated in English 2 years ago, 2017, and my first school was Merrimack College, and I went to a big school thinking that, okay, everyone goes to a big school their first time, so let's do this, let's have fun. And I decided when I was there, everything was beautiful, everything was amazing. The only thing is that since I was a first-generation student, I said, college, high school 2.0. I said, okay, this is going to be a blast, this is going to be easy, just like high school. And it turns out that everything was not like high school. Being in a big college, or college in general, you had to take a big step forward, progressing yourself. You needed to be more self-directed. You had to have more responsibilities. You had to know what you were going to do at that point of time. no one was really chasing after you. So there's no teachers like high school saying, "Oh, your homework is due tomorrow." No, you had to know with that syllabus. That's literally how they say it, the Bible to your college experience, to your college life. And when I decided, I said, I couldn't, because I saw that during the time that I was there at Merrimack, I saw that my grades weren't as good as I expected them to be. And then I decided to say, okay, I need to take a step back. I need to have a fresh start, because if not, this is not how it's going to go for me. And not only that, when I saw a big school, everyone follows big school reputations. And I completely ignored the financial component of that. And still to this day, I still have to pay off loans that I got from Merrimack College.
Well, Willie, you're not an exception. There's a lot of students who go off to college and aren't quite prepared for the experience, especially living on campus, and for the bills that come along with that. And that's why I think this collaboration is going to be very helpful for students like you, who maybe aren't quite ready for the large college experience, but may need a housing option while they attend North Shore Community College, and sort of get their academic act in order with us, and then transfer when they're ready for that transition. So how are you feeling about the opportunity to complete your degree, your associate's degree here, while you might be staying at Salem State? Does that fit in with some of your plans?
Completely, 100%. Me growing up and thinking about college life, no one in my house really talked about college, since no one completed college in my house. No one told me how college was going to be like. I would only see college in a TV point of view, where everyone would go party and everyone goes do stuff like this. But the thing was, the orientations at every school that I got accepted to, I went to the orientations, Salem State, Merrimack, everywhere. And the thing was, the fact that they showed us the dorms and how close everything is together, I felt that instantly everywhere I went, I felt that community feeling, that home feeling, where even though you might be 10 miles away or 1,000 miles away from your home, that dorm or that school that you're going to is going to be your new home. And they're going to make every single person that's there, I think everywhere you go, there's room advisors, there's everyone that's going to be a part. And they build that relationship with you, which is so incredible. And not only that, but knowing that for me, I've been couch surfing here and there. Like, I don't have a certain spot to stay at. And so here at North Shore, when I would finish my classes, I would go to work. And then after the end of the day, I would say, okay, where am I going to do my homework? Where's my next plan? And so thinking about it, if this great opportunity, this blessing, as you could say, that staying over there at Salem State, you don't have to worry about that. That's a burden lifted off, and saying, okay, while I'm there, not only am I going to have this home feeling is going to help me even thrive to the next step where I want to take.
Right. And you've touched on one of the issues that we know our students face, which is not having a permanent place of residence. And it really does impact your ability to study. It causes a lot of stress, and for some of our students, they don't retain in college in order to meet their educational goal because of life stresses like that. So I give you big props, Willie, for sticking and having perseverance, and you're exactly the kind of student that we hope to help with these kinds of options.
Yeah, I would just say you're the profile of the student that we want on our campus as well, Willie. I'm a first-generation college student myself. Some 40% of our students on campus are. We get more students from Lynn than any other city in the Commonwealth, and quite frankly, more from North Shore than any other partner that we have. So I'm confident that you would feel comfortable on our campus, and because of the close proximity as well, it's going to be relatively easy to get back and forth to our campus. And if you need to come back here for something else, it's not that difficult.
Right. And, even though you faced a lot of challenges, I know you're doing really well because you've been on the dean's list. And academically, you're really matured in terms of being able to handle your academic responsibilities. So when you look at this opportunity Do you have any worries that you might want to tell both of us so that we can address them?
Worries. I think the only worry is the financial component. It's in order to see, okay, how will I be able to fulfill the price? How will I be able to fulfill what is needed to? Because I feel like the blessing, of course, itself is amazing. It's a dream, you could say it as short words. The only thing is that it comes with the price, but that price is going to be worth it at the end of the day. The only thing is, my worry is, how would I be able to, get all this money?
Well, Willie, you're not. Everybody who goes to college has these same worries. And that's what our financial aid folks are there to do. We're there to help you. Here at North Shore Community College, this academic year that's just closing, we've supported our students with almost $20 million in grants and scholarships and federal and state aid. So our financial aid people are the people to go see how you can put your package together in order to be able to invest in yourself. And this is an investment. College is an investment that will have a return on that investment for your life. President Keenan, you want to answer his worries?
I would agree with that completely. And we both work on financial literacy with all of our students because we want them to understand, because otherwise you're going to get at the end of the year and say, how do I owe all this money, or how am I ever going to be able to afford this with the profession that I'm going into? So that's critically important, that everybody comes in with open eyes and transparency in terms of what the cost of the program is going to be, whether it's the academic piece or whether it's the residential piece. So we will certainly work with you on that. And just like Pat had said about here at North Shore, we're investing more and more this year and next year, and actually there's several years out to make sure that Salem State is still affordable for students. It is our mission, I believe, to serve students like you, Willie, in the North Shore, in Salem, in Lynn, in Lawrence, to make sure that you have an opportunity to climb up the economic ladder. And the way you're going to do that is with an education here in the Commonwealth.
Absolutely. So, President Keenan, if somebody's really interested in this,
oh yes,
how do they apply?
Yeah, absolutely, you got to give the information, right? So to apply for housing at Salem State in partnership with North Shore, please contact our residence facility directors, 978-542-6416. Again, 978-542-6416, or email us at housing@salemstate.edu. Again, that's housing@salemstate.edu.
Well, I want to thank you, President Keenan, for taking the time out of what I know is a very busy schedule to be with us today. And I want to thank you too, Willie, for sharing your story, your concerns, your challenges, and your accomplishments with our listeners. And I look forward to many students at North Shore Community College investigating this opportunity and taking advantage of a housing opportunity. This is Dr. Pat Gentile, president of North Shore Community College. I hope you learned something new today. If you're enjoying this podcast, I invite you to subscribe on iTunes or Google Play, and be sure to leave a review or a suggestion of what you'd like to know more about for future episodes. Until next time, ciao.